My name is Ponsah. I have two warriors with me, like I said. I was telling you a personal story that happened with me, but it's all well. I have Mr. Lekmak Theoden Wetle. I don't know if I called the name. Good evening, thanks for coming.
Good evening.
I'm trying to check, let me not commit a crime here. And Tolu Lope Barbara Oladipo. Good evening. Yeah, thank you for coming. Okay, so like a brief introduction of yourselves.
Yeah.
Again, let people learn. Oh, let me start with ladies first. They always say. Is it Mrs. or Miss?
Miss.
Okay, but I'm sure it's very fine if I call you Tolu Lope.
Yeah, sure.
Because Yoruba people I don't want to. All right. Okay. So talk to us about your condition. You have that's what. Don't be. I told you, my friend. Talk to us about what's going on. Like I said, my friend once. I mean, before he passed, he told me that he doesn't want to live beyond 45 years. That's what happened. I asked him, so he didn't school for most of his time he wasn't in the country. So I asked him why. He said he's tired in and out of the hospital. He's tired and just if there's anything he just wants to die and go. Because he's really really tired. But there's this time that he was really sick, and I think his mother had to fly to the country there to take care of him. And at the time, I think that's when he finally said that look, it's like I've given up hope, I'm tired, I'm always sick. The things that I love to do, I can't do it. Talk to us about the feeling, do you feel like that, like my late friend?
There are days like that, to be honest. There are days that you can't do everything you set your mind to, and you can't achieve the plans that you have. There are days that you make plans and you wake up and you see that you're sick, or you have to be rushed to the ICU. And basically, it's kind of sad that you make plans with people and then you get to disappoint them. Not like it's your making, but then it's just this condition that kind of draws you back and makes you shield yourself from certain things that you want to do and explore.
So growing up, it's like they're the favorite in the home. Anything that you want, they got the bicycles, they got the skates, they got like anything that you want, is there for them.
I don't know, but for me actually, I'm kind of privileged and I thank God for that. And I always get what I want. And it's true, Sha, they always like pamper you, but sometimes it becomes too much.
You think
Yes, it becomes too
have you had a session with your parents to say, no mom, dad, it's too much, I can handle it?
They know me, I have coconut hair. They don't need to have a session. I will just do whatever I want to do and the consequences I will face it. And they will still be there to help me out too. So that's it.
Yeah, well, let me come to you, like, man. I have a friend, I think he just graduated from university now.
Okay.
And when he was in secondary school, he has sickle cell, anemia, the condition. And his mother called me up because we're very close with him. They just live one block away from where I used to stay at. And she called me to say, do I have time? I said, yes. She said, her son, my friend, is acting up. I said, what's the problem? And then, she was saying that he stopped taking his medication, he stopped, and he was in SS3 at the time, some years ago. And then I met him up. I said, do you like to talk? Why have you stopped taking your medication? And he said that everybody in his class is grown and he's just there. He wants to have a girlfriend. Not the bad. We need relationships.
Yeah.
He want to be cool with opposite sex. He wants to have the cool things, do the cool stuff, but you just don't have the energy. Talk to us about growing up, with your own condition. Have you ever felt like, my little friend?
Yeah, definitely. I can relate to that. Every now and then you're on medication and it gets to that point where it gets tired and you just know that okay, something is not normal. And okay, being in secondary school, that's the peak of teenage age. You want to have fun, you want to try stuff, okay, but then you realize that there are a lot of limitations, and you're at that stage where there's this conflict within you. You're trying to you picture a life what you want, and then the reality is different from from what you are envisioning. So it kind of gets difficult because you are struggling to accept who you are, living with this condition, and then who you want to be. So for me personally, as a teenager, then in secondary school, of course, I wanted to go swimming, I wanted to party, but you just have this consciousness that you cannot go the extra mile because anything can just trigger crisis. And sometimes, yeah, low self-esteem because you are battling within yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would like you to talk about personal experience. Maybe helping someone, a kid out there that's listening, or
Yeah.
a family, because I know the government don't support whatsoever. Maybe psychological support for families. I'm not talking about money, but at least I don't know if there's a policy, on sickle cell patients with sickle cell. You can't correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Well, okay, for now, they are just individual and NGO that are making efforts as to what government is really doing. I can't pinpoint. The only last time I know that government really did something was there was this particular drug that was in production then, and it was Nigerian research.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, National Institute for Pharmaceutical and Research Development. They came out with this drug because it's not in production anymore, and I don't know what happened. And a lot of warriors that have used that medication, then there was a lot of testimony. I used it. It reduced crisis a lot.
So it's not in circulation.
It's not
again.
in circulation again. So and then so for support.
How about, I see people, building. For me, I was telling someone, very powerful person, very powerful. I said, if I had, his money, I'm going to spend it in healthcare. Diabetes is killing old people.
Yeah.
It's very expensive to manage. Sickle cell anemia is dealing with young people and things like that. But haven't any big business person not, say that, okay, I'm going to put 200 million, to give to researchers to come up with this drug?
Well, seriously, there's shortage of resources because there, there's need for funding, there's need for intervention at all levels. Nigeria is the capital of sickle cell in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
How many million people
About 2 to 3%
of the
of
population?
the population that are living with sickle cell, and about 20 to 30% that are carriers of the trait. Now you see there's need for intervention at all levels. We are talking this is running into millions.
Absolutely.
So there's need for intervention at all levels. Awareness. A lot of people don't know. In fact, a lot of people don't know their genotype. They don't know which genotypes are compatible, because the best way to prevent it now is it is a genetic disorder that is gotten from that. So the best way to prevent it is through marriage. Let people know their genotype.
Counseling.
Yeah, let people know their genotype and know which ones are compatible before they get married. Because if this is the least, this is the cost. Like, it is not costly, and it is this prevention that will, let me say, is the best cure for now.
I have sickle cell, but I'm not a sickler. An individual like me is not stigma. a perplexing circumstance of my enigma has me friends stereotyping and not understanding, family empathizing but not contributing, ladies admiring but not loving, engaging but not indulging. I have a condition, but who doesn't? It may be malaria, typhoid, or hepatitis. I keep defending I am not a disease, but human, also endowed with genes and DNA, bone marrow, genotype and blood type, veins and bones, heartbeat and brainstorm. I've got a life and I'm living it. Except I'm dead, I'm as human as any other, carrying my cross lighter than that of others caught up between life and death, yet seen as a human defect. I may not be an athlete or bodybuilder, but I can be a doctor, scientist and an artist, fulfilling my own purpose. I am Sickle, not cursed. Neither am I a walking corpse. And until I am dead, I live with my condition because I am as human as any other. Just human.
I have sickle cell disease, but I'm not a sickler. I am a lady, not a walking corpse. I am a girl, a lover, not a pandemic. Guys admiring but not approaching, crushing but not toasting, lost in my vulnerability, following my friendship. I am a woman, not a spirit. I am a mother, a wife and a guardian, not a pawn. I am human enough to overcome the stigma of my stereotype. I have a lot to offer because I'm not a weakness. I am reproductive enough to offspring greatness with enough breast milk for nurture. I can be a lawyer, architect, or a scientist. I am a friend, a girlfriend, a lover, a companion. Beautiful, pretty, or whatever. Going places, overseas, or wherever. Until I am dead, I live with my condition. Because I am as human as any other. Just human.
Let me come to Tolu Lobe. Have you ever felt that your parents are responsible for bringing you into the world and while they know? And let me be honest, personal information. We're having a conversation with my mother, and I asked her, so you guys tested your husband, that's my father, before, and she said no, we didn't, and she's a medical person. Then I say, what bricks is that? What if, what if, what if? Do you ever feel like, your parents are responsible for how you are right now?
Okay, so having to live with sickle cell, I've come to the realization that yes, it is. There was a time that it was their fault because I was struggling with accepting that okay, this is what it is, and you have to live with it. And then again, I used to blame them, or I used to see them as the cause because I felt like they should have known better or they should have done better. But the more I question or the more I think about it, the more anxiety and pain it brings to my heart. Because it's actually when I'm in crisis, I do actually question all those things. Or when I'm in pain. That's when all these problems of life I start to think and think and think. But then again, I do not blame them as of now. Because I have grown past that stage of it. With that, like my family is amazing. They're like 100% always there. And some friends too.
Okay.
I don't really allow my friends know that I'm sick.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't just want it to be like I'm putting my problems on them, and there was a period of time that my friend actually saw me sick, and the stress she had to go through, she wouldn't wish it on anybody. But if it's my parents, at least they know that okay, this is it, and they'll go all out for you. So basically.
So you guys don't have within your network, like Mark, like you don't have a support system that you guys just come and share what you're going through, you know?
No, okay, there are support groups. Yeah, there are support groups. So usually, okay, you meet, share any problems.
Yeah, sorry to cut, if I'll ask you, is it at all the government don't, you know, they will say at all, lying back pass.
Yeah.
So at all, like, even in youth, you don't get any support, any like, you know, in, and I know that there are no plenty NGOs that, you know,
Yeah.
their thematic area is sickle cell patients.
No, no, you don't get the drugs for free.
You
Like,
buy it.
You have to buy it. Your treatment, there's no subsidy in treatment. Even, I don't know, for children that are born, I don't know, I think there should be free genotype testing so that people can go in, check, know their genotype. For newborn babies, this will go a long way to, encourage people to get to know. But all this, yeah, it's money. Testing is, you have to pay, treatment you have to pay. So there's support is just usually at individual levels and NGOs, and that's it. There's no impact from government yet. We are yet to feel impact from the government.
So, Tolu, look, do you have friends who have the same condition and they are not as, you know, the same economic status as you are, and what are some of their struggles? Because just no support. It's about, you know, families that don't have money and they have to go through this.
My
If
heart
you
goes
know-
out to them.
Yeah.
And yes, I do have a couple of friends that actually struggle with hospital bills and the finances and all that. It's quite overwhelming, to be honest, because it's a lot of money. And I think depending on the state you are in, depending the level of hospital bill you have to pay. Like in Lagos now, there are sometimes you have to pay like 500K. Abuja is another thing. I was admitted in Abuja one time and my hospital bill was almost skyrocketing to 1 million. Yeah. Because
So
I had, there was oxygen, there was blood and all those things, and
Do you have health insurance, for example?
I do not have health insurance.
So everything's out of pocket.
Yes, out of pocket.
And there are conditions that will arise as a result of complications. People suffer stroke, that's one of the effects of sickle cell. Some people suffer stroke, some people suffer leg ulcers that takes time before it heals. You know. A lot of people damage organs, liver, the spleen, even the kidney. These are some of the complications that could arise from sickle cell. So the disease itself, you have to deal with it, and then what if you have a complication?